pair of Oklahoma Sooners make the athletics freak list? Who is missing and who could be on this list next year? We'll discuss coming up next year on Locked On Sooners.
You are Locked On Sooners, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma Sooners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Once again, thanks for making Locked On Sooners your first listen every single day. Shout out to all the everydayers out there tuning in and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Bruce Feldman creates a list of 100 to 101 players that are just freaky athletes over at The Athletic. And generally, you have a couple of Oklahoma Sooners on it. And this year you did. You had Jaden Knott. You had Robert Spears-Jennings, both being featured on The Athletic's freak list.
Yeah, this list started with 10 or something like that when he first began this game, and he's been growing it and growing it. It's one of my favorite lists to read every single year because it gives me an idea of players to keep your eyes on that could be doing something crazy. And it's always very weird little anecdotes about them that makes it even more fascinating. Like Jaydn Kn, number 55 on the list. And, of course, we know he ran for 2,600 yards and 700 yards receiving, which that some people did not realize he had a lot of receiving yards and 30 touchdowns in his first 3 years. So average about 10 touchdowns per season. But he squats 45, benched 370, and power clean 315 pounds with a maximum velocity of 21.6 miles per hour, maximum acceleration of 12.1 miles per hour. So, yeah, dude's pretty freakish in his capabilities, and he had a maximum proportion force that was 3 times his body weight. That's a lot. That's a strong dude. And that little nugget about it is something to make you watch him and say, I want to see how he breaks out to the outside or explodes up the middle and see if that really translates here. Because typically all of these little anecdotes always translate to the field in some capacity.
Yeah, and being a running back, you want good strength in the lower body, and he's got that in spades. I mean, being able to squat 485 pounds, that's really impressive. Like that power clean of 315, that's strong.
Explosion.
So, yeah, it's exciting to see what he's going to be able to do. I mean, I don't think at this point we can be any more excited for Jaden Kn. It's just a matter of getting him out on the field and seeing what he's going to do. I think that week 1 game against Illinois State is going to be something to marvel at because I don't know if we've had somebody that has as much potential to break away from the pack as Jaden Kn does in some time. I mean, we've had good running backs, but I don't know if we've had anybody with his kind of ability in a while. Maybe since Joe Mixon, Samaje Perine, those dudes were really, really good. Coming in at number 82 was Robert Spears-Jennings, and he put up some impressive numbers as well. He squatted 510, benched 330. He hit 21.6 miles per hour in max velocity, and his max acceleration was actually faster than Jaden Knott's at 12.8 miles per hour. So this, again, we've been singing the praises of Robert Spears-Jennings on the show for quite some time, but I'm of the mind that he's got the potential to be a top 60 pick in the NFL draft in 2026. And if he continues to test like that and he goes and he has another really, really productive season for Oklahoma this year, I think the sky is the limit for the kid. And he is one of those guys that he might not be as well known right now in SEC circles or in national circles, but by the end of the year, a lot of people are going to be knowing about Robert Spears-Jennings.
Yeah, and it's always it's not a surprise. Not always. Let me change that. It's no shock that his acceleration is high when you saw those blitzes that he did against Tennessee as well as Auburn. And he just comes out of nowhere and just levels a dude.
Or even dating back to 2023 when he got in for 2 snaps against Kansas.
Right. You see a movie like, oh wow, why is he not playing? And it's not easy when you have talent on the field to play everybody or whatnot. Some people they don't get as many snaps as you would like, but when he walked out there especially last season, you're like, oh no, he's gonna own this position. This is his. Yeah. He's gonna be that dude. And then you see him move, his proportion force measurement was 3.4 times his body weight. Absurd. In vertical jump, which is just crazy. So benching 330, John, squatting 510. That's why he hits so well on the run defense. It's funny because going through PFF's their grades or whatnot, he was the second highest graded player in the country in run defense if you have the minimum amount of snaps. And he was like a 90-something grade. Like, he stops runs. And so you want someone that knows how to tackle really well. Robert Spears-Jennings, I think the thing that he needs to improve is his coverage. And if he gets out there and gets elite in his coverage game, get his hips going, being able to turn and stop wide receivers, John, there's a good opportunity. This dude forces his way into a late first-round pick. Safeties aren't as valued as high unless you're like really a Swiss Army knife. He can become that this season. He's got all the tools for it. He's going to be fun to watch.
So who do you think that will be here next year will land on this list for Bruce Feldman? One name that pops off for me is Ryan FoDjE.
I can see it.
Like, that's a dude that at 330 pounds shouldn't be able to move the way that he moves.
Not at all.
He is freaky athletic for a guy his size. And I think that's going to be something that stands out whenever he tests next spring. A full year in the system, full year and a half in the system. By the time we get here next summer, he will be faster, stronger, more athletic, more explosive, and he'll be scary playing right guard for Oklahoma next year.
Yeah, FoDjE is a very good one. I think one that I can see on that list on the offensive side is Tory Blaylock.
Oh,
because we've seen the gains that he's gotten as a true freshman. I mean, he jumped up 11 pounds from the spring into the fall. And I bet you, like I said, I think he's probably closer to 210 going into the actual season when we get the last set of weights at the end of the month. Yeah, he has seen a massive amount of growth just being here. And that's absurd. So I think Tory Blaylock's going to be on that list because I think that he's going to put that up. I think on the defensive side of the ball, Reggie Powers is going to end up on there. Mm-hmm. I think physically he is imposing. He's got the strength. I mean, heck, he got the neck of an NFL linebacker / safety, just big and just thick. Like, he just hurts. Like, he just thumps you and you feel everything. I think he'll be on that list or someone that's going to be considered on it because, and the beauty of this list is Feldman talks to all the teams and asks them about the ridiculous numbers some of these people put up when it comes to measurements and testing, and this is where you get that from. So I could totally see those are the two players I think on both sides of the ball that could end up on there. You may see a freakish, heck, don't be surprised if a Danny Okoye populates on there one of these days, right? You got a list. But I think defense, I think Powers and Blaylock are two that I could totally see being on there.
Yeah, Danny Okoye was the name I was about to throw out. I'm glad that you did it because Brent Venables called him the best athlete on the team.
Easily. I mean, I see him watch him do standing backflips at that size. Crazy.
That kid is going to be something pretty special, I think, once he gets playing time and once he gets on the field. Buy or sell, Jay. We got some win total updates to discuss. Also, will Oklahoma have a resurgent season at wide receiver coming up next here on Locked On Sooner?